What's up, friends? So, one of the most pervasive narratives in our culture is that of the rugged individual. The idea that with enough grit and determination, anyone can achieve success. It is romanticized through idols, both fictional and real. John Wayne was a classic icon of individualism. And while the archetype of the frontier cowboy may have evolved, the underlying narrative remains in our zeitgeist. Now, growing up, Destiny's Child and Beyoncé were my modern version of John Wayne. They came out with the song Independent Women when I was 15 years old, and it became the anthem of my teenage years. In these formative years, Destiny's Child and other icons taught me to prioritize autonomy and personal achievement. In school, I quickly learned that exemplifying these traits earned me praise, further reinforcing my desire to be independent. My obsession with being an independent woman was at its peak 5 years ago when I decided to move to San Diego. This cross-country move was an opportunity for me to put my worldview of individualism to the test, and I was stubbornly determined to make it work. And this plan of mine was a total failure. Despite living in a sunny paradise rich with opportunity, I spent most of my time isolated in my apartment, masking my depression with a lot of wine, and binge watching Breaking Bad. It is a good show. Outside of my apartment, I was terrified to show any vulnerability. I separated myself from my coworkers, and I dreaded going to work. The worldview that I was so passionately invested in was failing me. Now, perhaps you have idolized the dream of autonomous success and experienced a similar fallout from pursuing this myth. And to anyone who wants to achieve self-made success, you will fail to do so because of one simple fact. Humans are not evolved for autonomy. For over 2.5 million years, we have evolved to intimately depend on each other for basic survival. Collaboration and group dependence first emerged when nomadic hunting groups formed and later served as the basis as the first stable societies in history. And in comparison to this long evolution of community, the narrative of the rugged individual is comparatively new in the timeline of human history. And while there are merits to healthy levels of self-reliance, I am passionately convinced that too much emphasis on individualism leads to personal isolation and loss of human potential. Now, it took 2 years for me to get off of my independent woman war path in San Diego. When the isolation became too much to bear, I returned to Colorado and ended up discovering community where I least expected to find it, in the workplace. I landed my dream job working within the B Corp movement, and and I planned to use the opportunity to finally reach my goal of independence. However, I never anticipated how intimately this group of people would change my life. In my workplace, there is an intentional culture of interdependence where collaboration and collective leadership take the place of personal achievement. The support that I found in this intentional community laid the groundwork for me to tap into my full potential. No longer afraid to express vulnerability, I'm now empowered to vocalize when I need help. My colleagues are invested in who I am beyond my professional identity. They have supported me through 5 knee procedures, the purchase of my first home, and they invite me to lead mindfulness sessions at our staff retreat. Experiencing this heartfelt level of community has unlocked fulfillment and connection in every aspect of my life. After work, I no longer hide behind a Netflix binge. Instead, I go to the park with neighbors, cook brunch with friends, and volunteer. I finally see the wisdom of community that our ancestors built over millions of years. So to any of you out there who dream of being a rugged individual, I am here to tell you that you don't have to tackle this life alone. There are opportunities for collaboration and support all around you, and I invite you to seize those opportunities for community. And I promise that the end result will be more fulfilling and satisfying than any level of self-made success. And so after a very long journey of discovering this truth for myself, I am proud to stand here today and say that I no longer want to be an independent woman. because I am an interdependent woman. Thank you.